What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I'm going to show you another video reinforcing why, if you are a black person, no matter what your political affiliations are, you at this moment to be supporting the current Republican Party and MAGA, you are a traitor to your people. You are a traitor to America and American democracy, the thing that our ancestors fought, died, bled for, willingly and unwillingly, to at least create a system that's strong enough to facilitate us African people who live here in America and around the world to thrive. All right? I want you to see who these Coonarians are supporting. You know, in any other situation, I would say, hey, Democrat, Republicans, go ahead, make your pick, whoever got the best policies. But at this moment, at this very moment in time, in 2024, the current Republican Party is a party of white Christian nationalists, Nazi, KKK, Confederate white men who are trying to hold on to power because they're losing power. So every single black male conservative are supporting white Christian men in their fight to maintain power. Okay, let's forget about the Democrats and their tolerance of people who want to live their life the way they want to live. Because I don't care how people want to live their life as long as they don't force it upon me. And yes, there are extremes on the Democratic side, but guess what? Those extremes are not trying to kill us, and they're not trying to take over the world like Pinky and the Brain. All right, but on the Republican side, the fragile white male who's losing power is trying desperately to hold on to power. And every one of these low information, non-knowledgeable traitors to the black community who are trying to coerce black people to go over to the Republican Party, they are enemies of the people, whether they know it or not. Either they're too stupid to understand what's going on. Yeah, and I said the word stupid, and I said I was going to stop doing that. But in their case, they're either too stupid politically, right, to understand what's going on around them. And if that's the case, you shouldn't take anything they say seriously, because clearly they don't have the intellectual aptitude to give anybody advice about anything. All right, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to let the Europeans themselves are tired of these Republicans, these neo-Nazis, these Ku Klux Klan 2.0 members who think that you're so stupid that you're gonna help them oppress you. Okay, even white people are waking up to it. Even white people, because it doesn't benefit them either. The Ku Klux Klan and that Nazi shit don't benefit them either. It just makes shit bad for them, because it puts everybody else in a defensive mode in which we're just looking at them and we're just seeing every one of them as enemies. But anyway, without further ado, check this out. Now, before I let you watch the video, because I didn't say my whole point, they're either too stupid to know politically what's going on, or they don't actually care because it's all about them and about filling their pockets and what white people can do for them specifically in exchange for them throwing black people under the bus on behalf of white Christian males, and how many butter biscuits and how much honey butter sauce they can get placed on their biscuits after they complete their mission of sabotage. All right, now enjoy the video.
I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret about white people. Every single white person knows somebody who is racist. Racist towards black people, racist towards Spanish people. We all know somebody. It might be our family member, might be a distant relative, might be a coworker, might be an old friend, but we all know somebody. Personally, I come from a whole family of racist people. Yeah, my entire family is Republican too, okay? My dad's parents are racist, and my mom's parents are racist, okay? So I'm literally going against everything by talking about this. I am putting my own life on the line by speaking about this, and that's what we all should be doing. See, we could have ended this a long time ago, but people like my mom listened to these racist comments that their parents were making and didn't speak out against it. They kept their mouths shut, or they agreed with them silently, but they didn't do anything about it. They continued to let this be passed on generation after generation. Oh, my mom never told me or taught me any racist ideologies, she continued to let it happen because she didn't speak out against it when her parents were talking about it, or my dad's parents were talking. So if you are against racism and you are against discrimination and you're a white person, you need to speak out about it. Otherwise, you are allowing this to continue generation after generation, and you are just as much a part of the problem as anybody else. It is so hilarious to me that if I stand up against racism, if I'm against discrimination, if I'm against injustice, if I believe in treating people like humans, that I have some sort of white guilt. See, the biggest misconception with that is you think I'm talking about things that happened hundreds of years ago. You think I'm talking about things that happened before my time. No, I'm talking about the things that are happening right now. I'm talking about those little 7, 8-year-olds on video games who are screaming the N-word over and over again. I'm talking about the racist grandparents a lot of us have, who sit around and watch Fox News all day and judge people of color. I'm talking about the truly ignorant people who have the audacity to call people illegal while they're eating meat that was packaged by undocumented workers and eating fruits and vegetables that were picked by undocumented workers. Y'all think I'm talking about slavery. I'm not. But if we want to talk about slavery, let's talk about private prisons and how we never really abolished slavery. We just changed the name. Let's talk about how people who look like me, who had the same skin tone as me, purposely hid knowledge, purposely destroyed cultures in order to keep information hidden from the masses. People have the nerve to say I sound like I don't like my own people. Bitch, I'm from Pasco County. You ever been there? It's like white trash capital of Florida, okay? Of course I don't like my own people. I've seen nothing but garbage my whole entire life from my own people, and they have the nerve to say they're the superior race. Yeah, right.
Transferred to an area, Barnesville, Georgia, that was like being thrown back into the 50s of people yelling the N-word at us to get off their lawn, telling us they're going to get their gun. They still, on Wednesdays, everything was closed until 2 p.m. in honor of the slave trade. During that time, everything would be closed so that people could go to the auction blocks.
What?
Yeah. And so they still honored that all the way in 2013. And that was because that town was a slave town where they would do, like, the railroad came through it, and that's until 2 p.m. there would be auctions. I was just full on scared for my life, you know, and I learned very quickly, like, to not go to the houses that had any Confederate flag hanging. It was scary, and it was a lot, like, emotionally to deal with.
These people who are coming here are not assimilating. They're poisoning the blood of the country, voting Donald Trump.
The Founding Fathers restricted voting rights for vast majorities of people, including women. The women didn't receive the right to vote until the 19th Amendment.
And then we fixed that.
I don't think that was a good thing.
You don't think so?
I don't think it was a good thing. I believe
the 19th Amendment?
Yeah. Every person, women, men, black, white, whatever, has equal dignity under the law and before God. That doesn't mean they'll have the same roles and should have the same influence in a society.
So who should have influence in our society?
Christian leaders.
White Christian men. Interesting.
White Christian men.
Trump said he wants to...
Just said he's voting for Joe Biden no matter what. Check it out.
Is there any chance you would stay at home on Election Day?
No. I love American democracy too much that Biden and Trump, if it's a Biden and Trump race, then I would vote for Biden even if he was dead.
No chance I'd stay home. I've never.
And I'm a Republican.
Have you ever heard of a game called Werewolf?
No.
Everyone gets a piece of paper. It's either got villager written on it, but 2 have the word werewolf. Someone runs the game to make sure no one's cheating, and they go, okay, it's nighttime, everyone close your eyes. Werewolves choose someone to kill, and the werewolves go. They say, okay, everyone close your eyes, it's morning time, open them again. During the night, Francis was killed. There's then a conversation, and this is where it gets interesting, between all the villagers and the 2 werewolves over who the werewolves are. Then at the end of the day, the villagers have to decide who they're going to kill, and they say, well, we're going to kill Constantine. It's revealed by the person running the game, I'm afraid Constantine was a villager. And the game continues. The villagers win the game if they kill both werewolves. The werewolves win the game if they kill all but 2 villagers. And the werewolves usually win. The game was invented by a student of sociology in Russia who wanted to prove his thesis that an uninformed majority will always lose a battle of information against an informed minority. So that just shows when you have hidden information, you can completely manipulate a large group of people.
Aspect of the Republican Party.
Yep.
and that you wanted to look away from that?
There were parts of the GOP that we have to look at and be honest about what it was. We didn't, as a broad party, look at the people in parts of the base in the South and parts of the Midwest who were not motivated by free markets or limited government or individual liberty. They were motivated by racial animus. And there is a part of it that's out there. We have to look at it honestly. And I look back and I saw, Ronald Reagan years ago saying there's no place in this Republican Party for anti-Semitism or the Klan or racial hatred. And on and on and on. But we still had some of those people in the base, and we never purged them. We should have purged them. We never did it. Got to own it. Now, Donald Trump has played footsie with these people from the beginning. Remember, in the 2016 campaign, it took Donald Trump 2.5 weeks to denounce David Duke. How do you denounce David Duke? You denounce David Duke instantaneously. You don't wait 2 weeks.
Well, you did a lot to get Republicans elected, to get them into power. Do you feel any sense of responsibility for promoting a party with those elements that were not purged? What's your role in all of this in the past?
Are you talking about this Ronald Reagan?
From those African countries, damn them, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes.
There's a call between Tricky Dick and Reagan. Oh, the good old days of being a Republican, where your racist ways were hidden until after you died. Ronald Reagan was a racist. I know you Republicans don't want to believe it, but there's audio proof right there. How many non-racist friends do you have that call black people monkeys? Reagan helped establish what allowed Donald Trump to become president. Yes, see, it all ties back. So the Republicans weren't much better under Reagan like you guys like to point to. We got to go back to the Reagan days. No, we don't, and no, we don't want to. Look, if you were white, it was right. But we're in 2022, and that shit isn't going to fly anymore. So we got to stop pointing to this. When Reagan was president, Republicans sure were nice people. No, they weren't. They're the same they are today. They're just more emboldened today. So yeah, that's where we're at. Things weren't any better under Reagan. They were just hidden under Reagan.
There is no other way to say this. Republican state legislators keep passing some super racist bills, and they need to be called out. In Mississippi, Republicans in the House voted to create an entirely separate court system for the city of Jackson, which is the blackest city in America, that would be entirely appointed by white state officials. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis recently blocked AP African American history from the state's high school curriculum, and when he did so, he cited a 2022 law passed by the GOP-controlled state legislature that restricts discussion of race in schools. In Missouri, Republican lawmakers are attempting to ban the teaching of critical race theory and instead require teachers to take a course on patriotism. Meanwhile, Democrats in the states are fighting for legislation that champions and supports Black communities. Erin May Quaid, one of the first Black women to ever serve in the Minnesota Senate, just introduced legislation appropriating over $500,000 to support care for Black mothers before and after pregnancy. And in Arizona, House Democrats introduced a package of legislation that would allow for automatically registering eligible voters, same-day voter registration, and so much more. Whether it's healthcare, public education, voting rights, or reasonable gun safety laws, Democrats are getting things done to ensure that no Americans are left behind.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek.